This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Eloise Phillips, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Wednesday, April 29th. Taiwan and Europe strengthen their health partnership at a 2026 forum. A chip odyssey screening underscores the strategic value of the Taiwan-UK tech partnership. And Taiwan and the United States eye third country cooperation with Guatemala. But first, today's top story. This Wednesday, the European Chamber of Commerce Taiwan, or ECCT, held the 2026 Taiwan-Europe Healthcare Forum. Vice President Xiao Mei-chin, delivering remarks via video, stated that Taiwan-Europe cooperation constitutes a positive force on the front lines of global public health. The theme of this year's forum was Partnering for a Healthy Taiwan, Driving Strategic Resilience and Accelerating Innovation Through Global Synergy. It focused on topics including demographic resilience, family-centered health policy, respiratory health, and immunization. ECCT chairperson Tina Graves noted in her remarks that Taiwan entered a super-aged society last year and that Taiwan's birth rate hit an all-time low in February of this year. While Japan took 14 years to undergo this kind of structural demographic shift, Taiwan took only 8. Graves said this makes healthcare the single most critical issue on the national policy agenda and stressed that action must be taken to ensure the sustainability and resilience of Taiwan's healthcare system. In her video address, the Vice President highlighted that Europe possesses world-leading pharmaceutical R&D capabilities, and Taiwan stands at the forefront of information and communications technology and medical innovation. She said the government is working to realize its Healthy Taiwan vision through various initiatives and continues to ensure Taiwan's domestic regulations are aligned with international standards.
Our inclusion in the European Union's API third country list, along with our associate membership in the ICMRA, clearly demonstrates that Taiwan is a true partner in the global medical community.
Xiao added that Taiwan will continue to deepen cooperation with European governments, research institutions, and private enterprises to jointly usher in a new era of public health. The 2025 documentary, A Chip Odyssey, chronicling the history of Taiwan's semiconductor industry, was screened at the UK Parliament Tuesday evening. Taiwan's representative to the United Kingdom, Vincent Yao, told CNA that he intends to use screenings of the film alongside other events to help British audiences understand the value of deepening cooperation with Taiwan in the technology sector. The screening and networking reception were co-organised by the UK think tank Council on Geostrategy and the Taipei Representative Office in the UK. Attendees included members of Parliament, government ministry officials, think tank experts, industry figures, and foreign diplomats based in London. Yao said that as the UK pursues economic growth, cooperation with Taiwan, a leader in semiconductors and AI, could generate significant new opportunities for Britain. Speaking at the reception, he said that some research estimates a military conflict in the Taiwan Strait could inflict losses equivalent to roughly 10% of global GDP, which is why the UK, the United States, the EU, Japan, and many other like-minded countries have repeatedly emphasized their commitment to preserving peace and stability across the strait. These like-minded countries are also deepening cooperation with Taiwan. The UK has attended Taiwan's semiconductor trade shows for 3 consecutive years, in addition to holding 3 rounds of semiconductor dialogue. Yao added that Taiwan can help partners eliminate national security risks from high-tech supply chains and build trustworthy alternatives. MediaTek Software Director Henry Vickers also spoke at the reception, noting that the UK excels in innovation and design, with a strong track record in producing semiconductor intellectual property. He pointed out that the UK and Taiwan are natural partners, with Taiwan's manufacturing capabilities and the UK's IP strengths forming complementary assets. A Chip Odyssey is scheduled for another screening in June ahead of London Tech Week 2026. Foreign Minister Lin Jialong hosting visiting Guatemalan Minister of Finance Jonathan Mencos on Tuesday, said Taiwan will actively expand Taiwan-US cooperation to Central America, forging closer ties among Taiwan, the US, and Guatemala. Lin quoted Mencos as saying, "Taiwan and Guatemala are walking hand in hand on the road to freedom and peace, jointly promoting national peace and prosperity." Previously, Taiwan and the United States, in their 6th Economic Prosperity Partnership Dialogue, or EPPD, which concluded on January 27, 2026, had discussed third country cooperation, focusing on Taiwan's diplomatic allies and Central America. Guatemala is Taiwan's key ally in Central America. Lin said talent underpins technological development, so Taiwan is helping build a cloud backup data center, providing training to boost tech skills and cybersecurity awareness, and promoting President Bernardo Aravelo's chip development pathway for industrial upgrades. Mencos noted Guatemala's strong US ties, abundant young workforce, and projected 6% economic growth this year, making it a country with significant investment potential. He hopes Taiwan and the US will collaborate to aid Guatemala's development. Lin cited the joint statement on the Pax Silica Declaration and US-Taiwan economic security cooperation with 7 key areas, including third country cooperation. He echoed Mencos, pledging to extend ties to Central America. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Xiao Guangwei said that since signing the joint statement in January, Taiwan would continue expanding cooperation with the US and other key partners on related issues. The January 27th Washington dialogue covered AI supply chains, digital infrastructure, critical minerals, drone supply chains, high-tech talent, and bilateral economic ties, with third country efforts targeting shared priority areas, including allies such as the Philippines and Latin America. Taiwan bans over 1,000 Chinese agricultural and fishery products, but China is rerouting vegetables like napa cabbage, and shiitake mushrooms through Vietnam in a origin washing scheme. Agriculture Minister Chen Junji told lawmakers in the legislature's Economics Committee that his agency previously sought to sample products in Vietnam to build a database for comparisons, but faced interference from Vietnamese officials. Moving forward, the Taiwan Agricultural Research Institute will conduct aerial surveys of Vietnamese production areas to calculate yields and track import volumes. If imports exceed the permitted levels, relevant mechanisms will be activated, Chen said. Food safety issues have recently sparked domestic debate. DPP legislator Chiu Ying pressed Chen during questioning, noting that importers buy bulk vegetables like cabbages, ship them to Vietnam, repackage them in new containers with falsified documents, and import them as legitimate Vietnamese goods. She estimated profits at around 200,000 to 500,000 Taiwanese dollars, approximately 6,000 to 16,000 US dollars per container. Chiu said proving the scheme is straightforward. Vietnam's 2024 imports of cabbage and napa cabbage hit 80,000 metric tons, far exceeding its actual output. Shiitake mushrooms are also laundered in this way, ending up in group meals and even school lunches. Chen replied that the ministry strongly dislikes origin washing. Past on-site sampling efforts were limited by the Vietnamese to officially designated locations, so they now rely on varieties brought back to Vietnam by Taiwanese businessmen to build more databases for comparison. Detection is improving, though border areas near China remain tricky. Chen also promised that the ministry will add isotope testing for high-risk items after expert review. Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Eloise Phillips. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.
Hello from Radio Taiwan International. Check out our Google Podcasts. Search Taiwan Collective and Taiwan Voices for a collection of shows where we cover topics from serious to silly. And also visit us on the website at en.rti.org.tw and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. See you later.